March 2026. While much of the Northern Hemisphere is grappling with what experts call the great volatility, a handful of nations are living in a completely different reality. These aren't just nice places to live, they are resilience fortresses. In a world where 2026 has brought renewed conflict and shifting alliances, these countries have achieved something nearly impossible: decoupling. They've broken free from the global dependencies that make other nations vulnerable. Today, we're looking at the geopolitics of survival. How did these 5 nations engineer themselves to thrive while others struggle? Grab your map. We're going to the safest corners of the Earth. First, we go to the North Atlantic, Iceland. For 18 years straight, it has ranked as the #1 most peaceful country on the Global Peace Index. But in 2026, their real power isn't just peace, it's energy sovereignty. While Europe spends 2026 worrying about gas pipelines, Icelanders pay almost nothing for heat. Their hack: 100% renewable energy from the ground beneath their feet. They've even used this volcanic heat to solve their biggest weakness: food. Using geothermal energy, Iceland now produces nearly 100% of its own cucumbers and 70% of its tomatoes in the Arctic. They've even successfully harvested cocoa and bananas. Iceland is the blueprint for the island fortress: energy independent, food secure, and geographically out of reach. Down south we find the Southern Shield, New Zealand and Australia. Their strategy? Geographic buffering. New Zealand has spent the last year focused on the 2026 Infrastructure Resilience Index. They aren't just building roads, they're building shock-proof networks. Their isolation, once a trade disadvantage, is now their greatest asset. They are a net food exporter in a year where global food prices have hit record highs. Then there's Australia. Their 2026 hack is the critical minerals pivot. They've realized that being the world's quarry for lithium and rare earths makes them indispensable. Even in a global conflict, every side needs what's in the Australian soil to build their tech. They aren't just lucky. They've made themselves the global gas station for the Green Revolution. Back in Europe, one nation remains an anomaly: Switzerland. While its neighbours are arming up, the Swiss are doubling down on active neutrality. Switzerland's 2026 strategy is total defence. They are one of the only nations on Earth with enough nuclear-hardened shelter space for 100% of their population. But their real shield is their economic complexity. They perform the high-end financial and precision manufacturing tasks that the rest of the world literally cannot do for themselves. To attack Switzerland is to break the very tools you need to run your own economy. They have made the cost of violating their neutrality too high for anyone to pay. Our final stop is the most surprising success story of 2026, Guyana. Just a few years ago, it was a quiet South American nation. Today, it's the only country on Earth rated as 100% self-sufficient in all 7 essential food groups. While other countries are seeing protein inflation, Guyana is quietly feeding itself from its own soil and sea. Combined with their massive offshore oil boom, they have the highest GDP growth in the world this year. They've managed to get rich without losing their ability to survive on their own. In 2026, Guyana is the ultimate example of a resilient rising star. What do these 5 have in common? They stopped trying to win the global game and started focused on not losing. They prioritized their own food, their own energy, and their own borders. In 2026, the most valuable currency isn't gold or Bitcoin, it's resilience. Which of these fortress nations would you move to if you had the chance? Let me know in the comments. This is Simple Money Works, and this was the geopolitics of money. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one.